Hi, this is Jack Stanley, and I'm speaking in Orlando, Florida. And I figured it would be a good place to tell a story for this whole program. And that is, how did Disney ever acquire all the property in this area to open up the amusement park? You know, there is quite a bit of a question about that, how it all began and how it started. What is important to know is that someone in the Orlando Sentinel in the 1960s noticed that a series of companies, perhaps shill companies, who knows, were buying properties in the Kissimmee area of Florida. Now, this reporter said, something is going on here. And so she started to contact all the various companies all across the country, trying to find out who was interested in buying property in Kissimmee. Well, she went to Ford and she asked the following questions. Why are you buying all property in this general area? And they said, we have no interest in Kissimmee. She ended there. She went to GM. They had no interest in Kissimmee. She worked her way down the line, looking at various companies. Finally, she got to the Walt Disney Company and spoke to Walt Disney himself. And he said that he had no interest in Kissimmee. And of course she said, if you had no interest in Kissimmee, you would have called it Kissimmee. And so the secret was out, and Disney was found out to be creating a facility in the Orlando area. Once the cat was out of the bag, there were several issues that had to be resolved. One was the fact that they were going to create an experimental prototype community of tomorrow, EPCOT. Of course, the whole idea of it was to have schools and all kinds of facilities as an experiment to enlighten and to enrich the lives of people and children. Novel idea, very interesting idea. Only thing was that Walt Disney had several requirements. First off, it had to have its own government. Therefore, it had to have its own mayor. Therefore, it had to be its own city. And so, EPCOT was created. As soon as the ink was dry on this agreement, it wasn't long after that Walt Disney died. And the company itself said, experimental prototype community of tomorrow. I think we can do better than this. And so they created Walt Disney World, an amusement park. The community of tomorrow never quite happened. That experimental prototype community of tomorrow, the initials would be used for the EPCOT Center, becoming more or less a series of issues or displays of a World's Fair. What is rather fascinating is that due to that original meeting, Walt Disney is its own city. Therefore, they collect their own taxes. Therefore, they have their own building inspector. And therefore, they are their own entity. Something that the state of Florida was not exactly enthralled about. But, unfortunately, that's the way it is, that's the way it was, and today Disney is a massive facility in the Orlando area. What is rather fascinating about it as well is that now Florida, the Orlando area, takes advantage of that monster city called Walt Disney World, which Reedy Creek is one of the names that they use. It's kind of fascinating that a experimental community never quite happened, but the end result was a community of amazing proportions that no one perhaps ever dreamed of.